Twenty-seventh graders cram into an old minibus. They're from Lagodeki, a town in eastern Georgia. It's 10 o'clock in the morning when they set off. Instead of sitting in a stuffy schoolroom, they'll spend the day planting trees. The bus heads off toward Georgia's oldest national park, 20 kilometers away. This region at the foot of the Caucasus Mountains is known for its sumptuous forests. But those forests are under threat. 44% of Georgian territory is covered with trees. But more and more of those trees are dying because the ground is too damp. Illegal logging is causing bogland to expand. As the trees disappear, the slopes they held together are falling victim to landslides. Then floods wash away the fertile earth. The school children want to do their bit toward returning the land to its original state by planting new trees. Leri Chochuya from the regional office of the Worldwide Fund for Nature, or WWF, is going with them.
We used to have such beautiful trees here. But then the swamp started coming closer. 1,500 hectares of woodland just disappeared from the face of the earth. We want to give new life to 500 hectares of that.
New life begins behind a fence. The freshly planted areas need to be protected from animals. The WWF has been active in the Caucasus for 20 years. With more than 400 species of tree and shrub in the region, the biodiversity is outstanding. The ground is wet and soggy in patches, and the kids aren't sure where to tread. It's certainly a different biology lesson to the ones they're used to. This morning, 100 saplings will be planted under the watchful eye of the forester. Tamara has never planted a tree before, but she knows what the trees are good for.
The forests release a lot of oxygen into the air. That's healthy. And one day we'll be able to gather mushrooms and berries here, like we used to.
The trees are planted to a depth of 30 centimeters.
It's not hard. You just have to do it. Normally the plants have to be watered too, but these trees don't need any water. The ground is damp enough here. Watering them would cause damage.
It will take 15 to 20 years for these saplings to grow into a dense new forest.
Let's drive over to the river, the Alasan River. There we can see how the water is rising and making the ground wet. That's right in the middle of the national park, not far from where we are now.
The Alasan Valley is one of the most beautiful in Georgia. In the 19th century, the French poet Alexandre Dumas described the area in his travel books. Dumas would scarcely have imagined the environmental problems the area now faces over a century later, a side effect of modern Georgia's desolate economic situation.
Look around. None of our neighbors have as much forest as we do. Not Turkey, not Azerbaijan, not Iran or Armenia. And what are we doing with our rich forests? Destroying them. And why? Because we don't care about environmental regulations. Animals are not permitted to graze in the forest, but the rule is ignored. Or look at the energy crisis we've faced for the last 20 years. People need wood for heating, so they don't freeze. What's more important? Livestock, a warm home, or environmental protection.
Poverty has left deep scars in the Georgian countryside. Who's going to worry about environmental protection in a country where more than 30% of the population live under the poverty line? Where most pensioners have to get by on 20 euros a month, and where unemployment is at 14% officially. Independent sources estimate the unemployment figure to be as high as 30%. Georgia's long path toward independence in the late 20th century, the peaceful revolution at the start of the 21st, and the 2008 war against Russia have weakened the economy. Environmental protection was low on the list of priorities. But now a few projects are slowly being initiated to change that. Georgia wants to defend its natural heritage for coming generations. After 4 hours, the open-air biology lesson ends. The teacher is proud.
It's fantastic the way these school kids are helping to make our country beautiful again, the way I knew it when I was their age. The more we do things like this, the less painful the sight of dead trees will be. I hope to see a beautiful new forest here during my lifetime.
There are a total of 11 national nature reserves in Georgia. Nearly all of them are receiving financial support from the West. The German government and the WWF are among those providing funds. One day, these saplings will have grown into trees, trees which will return the Lagodeki region to its original state. Projects like the reforestation of Lagodeki are nurturing the hope that environmental protection in the Caucasus is no longer seen as a luxury. Like Larry Chochuya says, you just have to do it.